fair enough.
Welcome to Smell My Podcast.
We should really call it the John and Sim show.
Hello, Jesus Christ.
Try.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Come back. Johnny.
Just be cool.
I love you.
Hey, Morgan. Look at my chest hair. I don't have chest hair.
Okay, now we've got that out of the way. Let's get to it.
I've always loved educating myself, and now that I am creating my own podcast, my best one being Diary of a CEO. Have you ever watched it? Stephen Bartlett, I think it's
I've seen that one.
It's outstanding, and he's actually on Shark Tank.
Yeah, that's right.
He's so cool. So watch him. He interviewed Mr. Beast, Jimmy, who is 26. Did you know that?
He did not tell the other day. You know that he's 26.
He's 26 years old.
He was born in 1998. So
1998, I was in grade 6. I got my first cell phone in grade 7. That means his entire lifetime has been tech. I watched this episode and we have to talk about it.
okay.
The first thing that struck me is he was talking about how he was as a child and as an adolescent and his relationship with his mother. And I was just like, this is our firstborn son to a T. So the first thing that watching this episode gave me was a huge amount of hope. How would you describe our firstborn?
I think he's like most firstborn. We did a lot right, but a lot wrong. And a lot wrong. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't actually probing for those kinds of answers. I was probing for he's extremely intelligent.
Okay, but that's got nothing to do with how we raised him.
I didn't say to him, how do we raise him? I said, how would you describe him?
Sorry, I thought you actually asked me a different question.
So you really have visual and auditory processing issues. He's very intelligent, very high EQ as well. I used to think, no, he has high IQ, low EQ, and that's where the gap is. Now I realize actually the challenge that he faces is his IQ and his EQ are exceptionally high, but they still have to be processed by a 10-year-old brain. And he's actually learning to cope with the world much better now that he's 10. When he was 3 and 4, the things that he would be able to conceptualize and process and talk about and grapple with were 5, 6, 7 years ahead of his age. He had to then somehow decompress and expel all of this input and stimuli that he had been absorbing the entire day. So we were really worried about him. This point is to all mothers of very highly functioning children. They just have the volume on full blast. So loving, so generous, so clever, so capable. But oh my goodness, if he's in a bad mood, he's so intense.
But even if he's in a good mood, he's very intense.
The volume's all the way up. The good is extremely good. The challenges are extremely challenging. Watching Jimmy being interviewed by Stephen, he was describing himself as a child and a teenager, and I was like, this is our child. This is a mirror image of our child, which is freaking awesome. I feel like you and I, as people, value focus and excellence. Many people ask us, why don't you make more cosmetics? Why don't you make body butter? Why don't you make a shampoo? And I always say we can. That certainly doesn't mean that we should.
What we want.
Correct. Because I don't want to be just another cosmetics company. I want to be the Michael Jordan of natural deodorant. Which leads me to the first major takeaway from watching this interview that has blown my mind. And I want to preface the takeaways with this. everything Jimmy was saying about himself and his career. He is the most successful YouTuber on earth, which makes him one of the most successful people on earth. Each thing that he talks about as what has ensured that he's successful and what he looks for now in hiring, etc., are things that I have been relentlessly criticized for. Never mind what I've seen for my children. It was the most validating thing.
Okay, let's hear what were the things?
The first thing was being obsessive. It was so freeing to hear that being obsessed with something, you do this as well, getting so compulsively obsessed with something that you will not relent until you master it. It can be a formula in Excel. I've seen you spend 2 weeks of your life.
But something waiting for me after this calculation I can't get right.
And you're just going to sit there for.
Me and Grok are just gonna get it. And
I feel like that has been something that has been poo-pooed by our conventional average brethren.
has it?
Yes, be an all-rounder. Don't spend so much time on one thing.
Yeah, and I get that. My thing, what I always say to people, they say, "Oh, I need to get a side gig, and I need to do something." No, be the best day gig person. When you do whatever you do during the day, make sure that is your main side gig, everything, and make as much out of it as possible. Right?
Totally. That side gig story is just another product of mediocrity, in my opinion. Oh, this isn't going so well. So instead of improving on this thing that I've already got in front of me, you try another thing. That's very different to keep trying until you succeed. That's not the same thing. He spoke about how obsessed he was with becoming a YouTuber. It got to the point that he got an illness in his teenage years, so he couldn't even do sport anymore. All he cared about was becoming a YouTuber. And he said, his mother was like, well, you need a backup plan and go study. And he was like, I'm going to be a YouTuber.
Devil's advocate here, there is this thing of, I've got a big dream. I've got a dream to do something. And then,
Okay, cool. I'm not talking about the fact that he had a dream. The obsession manifested in action.
But didn't he? Because I actually did Google how, I looked for his first video he ever made. And I don't know if you said it in whatever you watched, that he used to play video games online or something like that. Did he talk about that?
He said it wasn't being a video game, it wasn't something, it wasn't I want to be famous. He was like, I want to make videos on YouTube that go viral of me helping people.
Okay.
My next takeaway is he spoke a few times about being ethical.
He's big into that now. He's got this whole South African guy that runs it. He's like good. He does like his chocolate is like 100% ethical. He does all this good.
Weaved into everything that he was saying is, why is something good or bad as long as what you're doing is ethical? How can you say YouTube is bad or YouTube is good or being a YouTuber is bad or good? It was very matter of fact. Be obsessive and be fiercely ethical.
I'm just thinking about that meme that you sent me. It wasn't a meme, it was a video of Gary
Vaynerchuk.
We spoke about an employee who is, he might be bringing you,
You might be your best salesman.
best salesman, bringing in the most amount of business, most amount of money, but if they are toxic, like cancer, it will spread.
Wasn't it brilliant?
Yeah, and
Ben Shapiro, when he was endorsing Donald Trump, I don't need my neurosurgeon to be a good person. I just need him to be the best brain surgeon if I'm having brain surgery.
Yeah.
And I got behind that 100% because at face value it makes sense. Before I watched this interview, I came to my own conclusion that I disagree with that. If you are not a good person, I can't trust you to make a good decision. Actually, if I, God forbid, need brain surgery, I still need my brain surgeon to be a good person. I need my brain surgeon to have good ethics and values.
so would you rather have the best brain surgeon who's like really bad oak, Or would you have like a mediocre? I don't know why I did that on, but it's a difficult one, right?
I would argue that you can't become the best brain surgeon unless you have an ethical compass.
Yeah, I suppose ethical is different to like bedside manner and all of that. Yeah.
I'm talking about being a good person, not a nice person.
We have this thing that in order to become like the biggest businessman, you have to cut corners.
You and I have a theory that you can only become a certain level of rich.
Which Mr. Beast is, right?
He speaks about being hated. The bigger you get, the more exposed, the more successful, the more hated you will be.
Yeah.
What he said is the more good you do, the more shots will be fired at you. If you want to be lauded, just buy a big house and show everyone your 40 cars. If you want to change people's lives by like giving 40 people hearing aids or building wells in Africa, people will give you death threats.
Like bad things to say about you.
They will assassinate your character. People cannot cope
Yep.
with other people doing good. It shines a spotlight on their own inadequacies. My takeaway from all of that is you have to be so mentally strong to be successful. He also said, I can buy a mansion. So that speaks to your previous point of you can only amass a certain amount of wealth without crossing lines or stepping on people. His brand is worth, I would imagine, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not $1 billion. But he himself, every single cent he gets, he reinvests into making the next video. Making one video can cost him $1 million.
He just gave away an airplane to a guy. It was $2.5 million.
What he's worth versus the money that he has in his bank account, that is kind of a good litmus test for me. Because I'm not talking about success. I'm not talking about being rich. I'm talking about becoming successful. That is, we need to be a successful human being, which has a foundation in being a good human being, an ethical human being.
Elon Musk now, he's back to working 7 days a week. He sleeps at the office. He's back in Tesla and he's back to SpaceX and he wants to do this thing now where instead of flying from Sydney to New York in however many hours, you space it in an hour. You fly out.
That is cool. Sydney to New York in an hour.
Yeah. But you have to go out the atmosphere and come back. He's obsessive about it. Say what you want about Elon Musk, but ethical. He's had some interesting
Life
choices. People hate him. And he wants to do good. Again, like you can say you can throw stones at the guy. But he wants, clean energy and electric cars.
He wants to help the world.
Yeah.
It gave me so much hope watching this interview, so much validation. It also reconfirmed something that I'm toying with all the time, and that is that most people are mediocre. That means if you have anything within you that's exceptional, you will appear very weird. I think that is a huge theme. With you and I, we are massive outliers within our own insular community, within the greater community. We are exceptionally I'm
okay with that.
I'm totally okay with it. I'm even more okay with it now that I see the most successful people on earth are like us.
So bringing it back now to our child.
I can see it exemplified within him. I feel like I've spent a huge part of the last 4 or 5 years trying to make him the same as everyone else so that he can fit in. And this is such a cliche, but I almost feel like Mr. Beast just gave me permission to let him be completely different to everyone else so that he can stand out and be the successful person that I anticipate him becoming.
I think we should change the Beast. Feastable. Oh yeah. Very nice, Dom.
It was very nice.
Proud of you.